have a pretty special video planned out today. Haven't got a chance to do this before, so decided today would be a good day to do it. But today I'm going to do a range test. Now, a lot of people have already done a range test on the GT, but I wanted to do a little bit of a different test as far as range goes. I wanted to do a more realistic range test, so not as much as what's the max that I can push out of this battery. What's the most range possible, but under the conditions that I ride in, what would I get on like an average day of riding? Because I never actually use my full battery. Usually on the average day I'll get down to like 50% at the most, because to be honest I don't have enough time to go for long rides. I got school, swim practice to go to and stuff, so I don't have time to do nice long rides. And if I do a ride, I'm usually focusing on working on a trick or some other stuff, and I usually end up riding pretty aggressively. So today I thought, why not do a nice chill ride, do a range test, and just have some fun with range testing, I guess. So real quick, like I said, this is not going to be the most accurate range test. It's a range test that fits my specifications, my needs, how I have my board set up. So right now, so just to lay it out for this range test, my tire pressure is at about, I would say around 13 to 14 psi. So it's a lot lower than what you should have if you want the maximum range. And that's just because that's what I'm comfortable riding with. That's how I like it. So that's what my PSI is at. Then my rider weight, I'm about 160, 150, I'm about 155, I'd say. I haven't checked, but I don't really remember last time I weighed myself. But I'd say around 155. But I do have a backpack full of gear and some water bottles, so I would say that adds, oh, and my helmet. So I would say that adds another 5 pounds. So I would say 160 is my geared rider weight. And my board is not stock. I'm not riding on stock, on a stock board. So I have a float plate, rim protectors, and a cush wide, which all add a little bit of weight. Not a whole bunch, but a little bit. So my board is heavier than your normal GT would be. So keep all that in mind when I'm range testing, that will probably cut my range a little bit. I'm also riding in Apex, so it's the most punchy, probably more intense on the battery riding mode. But this is just what I ride in on the daily, so I would so I don't want to change anything just for a range test. Also, one thing I am going to do is I'm going to try and keep myself from riding during pushback. So I'm going to keep my speed under around 20 miles an hour. I'm going to try to. Sometimes I might get up to pushback speeds, but I'm going to try and not do that. Just because I know pushback does take a lot of battery, and that's where you do consume the most amount of energy. So, with all that out of the way, without further ado, I'll stop talking and just let the time lapse do the work. I will occasionally stop to just give brief updates and to show what my battery is at. show a quick picture of what it is at. So, go ahead and go. So, we're a little bit into this journey, and I wanted to do a quick check to see what my battery levels were, and see how far I have gone so far. So, we are currently at 79% with 4.6 miles on this trip so far. We're gonna go ahead and keep on going with our journey. See how many miles we can get before I kill this battery. So, back to the time lapse. Okay, so we're here taking another stop right here to check what my battery is. Been riding it now for a while, so that'll be a good time to check what my battery is at. Okay, so we're at 7.1 miles ridden at 69%. Pretty good. Actually, we're only 5 miles away from a total of 600 miles on this board, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, there's quite a bit more riding to do. So I just came here to the skate park to film some of my video, and I found some people who like the channel.
Subscribe to Floaty!
You heard them. Okay, so I just stopped to take another percent check. I'm at 56% and I've ridden 9.6 miles. So we're about to hit 10 miles on this ride, and I'm just above 50% battery. Going off of that, I'll be able to hit 20 miles on this ride, but we'll see. Okay, so we're here for another check on my battery level. Give a quick check of that. Okay, so we are at 27% with 15.6 miles. ridden. It says I have 72% usage, 6% regen, and 5 miles of range, which I think that's going to be pretty accurate, the 5 miles of range. Well, it's not really getting dark yet, but I hope I can get home before it's dark. Let's get back to the time lapse. Okay, so I'm nearing the end of my ride today. End of the range test. My board, as you can see, just turned through the yellow, which means 20%. So we have just officially hit 20%. I'm not gonna check what the mileage on that is. I'm also not gonna time lapse the rest of this. It's starting to get darker, and just the GoPro doesn't like the dark very well. So I'm just gonna record once it actually does die. Also because my GoPro is getting very low. So it's actually getting pretty dark right now. I have to get home to do something. I still have about 16% left on my battery pack for today. So I'm actually gonna finish this video tomorrow when I have more light out to film and more time. I was so close to getting it done today, but it didn't work out. So I'm not gonna ride at all between when I get home right now and when I leave to start the range test again tomorrow. So
right here, I'm on the last little bit before my battery actually dies. Right now it's at 20%, or actually much lower. It's about, I would say, more like 2% right now. Right there you can see it turns to red and it starts doing the tilt back. And it's interesting, if you listen here, it's actually beeping. Or not a beep, but there's like an alarm that's going off telling you pretty much to stop. This part I just skipped ahead. It's all the same. It actually went on for this for quite a ways, and the whole time it was beeping or just a constant like alarm going. But I was surprised at how far it made on this full tilt back mode. You can see there that the tail is really close to the ground, almost scraping the whole entire way. And I was honestly impressed at how far it made it like this. It's really hard to keep going when it's like this, but as you can see here, finally when I started to turn, it was slow enough for it to just shut off, and it finally stopped. Just a quick warning, this is just my test with my conditions. For you, you will probably get more miles.